Hey guys, Average Woodsman here. So we finally got a decent break in the weather. We're getting some Florida fall weather, which is basically like 50s and 60s. We don't really have seasons here. We have basically summer and summer light, so we're getting some of that summer light weather right now. I'm out here just enjoying the day enjoying the woods on my day off. Figured I'd do a quick overview of this cold steel special forces shovel. I've had one of these I had one in the past. It was probably, I don't know, 2009, 2010-ish. I had it for a few years and I sold it or traded it. I don't even remember what I did with it, but I got rid of it, and always kind of had I always kind of wanted another one, but for some reason, I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And about a month ago or so, I ended up pulling the trigger on one. I'm buying it again. Honestly, they're just awesome. This quick review of it. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, get it. It's an awesome piece of gear. Very, very useful. I mean, it's one of the few pieces of cold steel piece, like one of the few cold steel tools that are pretty much unanimously loved. Even people who are cold steel haters have very little to nothing negative to say about the Special Forces shovel. So if you guys want to stick around, I'm going to do some chopping. I think I'm going to make a Dakota fire hole. Just do a couple things like that, and just to test the shovel out, and then yeah, let's just get to it. Well, this shovel is, well, it came from the factory with an edge on it. I definitely would not call it hair popping sharp, but I mean, what can you expect from a $40 tool? And I'm not trying to make excuses for it, but it is a shovel. It's not a large knife or an axe or a hatchet. And that's one thing that I want to say right away before I start chopping. This will not, in any way, shape, or form, in my opinion, replace an axe or a hatchet. It just does not chop that good. I will say it chops good enough where it's probably similar, or at least relatively similar to, let's say, like a large knife. But a lot of people might carry on their pack or on their hip a large, like a hung gloss or something like that. I would say it chops pretty well. It's a lot more versatile than just a large knife, though. It's going to chop similar to a large knife, but it's not going to, but it's going to have more uses. It's going to be more multifunctional than just carrying around a big, 12-inch or 10-inch or 8-inch belt knife. This thing is going to have a lot more uses. Pine that is on its way out. It's about probably 85 to 90% dead at this point. So I'm just going to do just a little bit of chopping on it, just to show you guys that it'll do a pretty decent job on even something that's about, I don't know, between my wrist and forearm size. Try the other side. I think I can definitely tell by chopping that this side is sharper than this side. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess it's just inconsistencies in whoever put the edge on this thing, but it doesn't really matter because I'm gonna I'm going to take it and put a better edge on it. But it actually made relatively short work of that tree. Plays an axe or a hatchet. If I were to put a better edge on it, it's going to chop a lot better. I just wanted to kind of show you guys the factory edge, which is definitely not great, not poor. It's not, you know, and I'm going to say this, you know, I know a lot of guys are very brand sensitive, and but it's not a Condor. I've had a lot of issues with Condors. I have a hatchet from Condor that was one of the dullest edge tools I've ever purchased. I mean, it's almost like they didn't even put any type of an edge on it. It took me forever to get that edge going. It's not as bad as that, not by any means, but it could definitely be sharper. So, but I wanted to kind of take it out the way it was and show you guys. This is also, like I said, about the, I don't know, second or third time, probably the third time in the last month that I've used it. I haven't used it a ton, but the factory edge isn't bad, but it does leave a little bit to desire. Let's do some digging with it, because you know it is a shovel, and then I'll kind of wrap this. Go on, Missy, move, you're right in the way. Alright, so we got the beginning of it. Now we'll just, as you can see, we got a nice draft all the way through. So we'll be able to, we got a nice hole all the way through, so it'll be able to get a decent draft in there. And let's get this fire going. I didn't want you guys to have to sit there while the fire was getting going, so I figured I'd just wait. Got it going, it's got a good draft, and that's pretty much it. I cut some green sticks to put across this once this burns down into coals, and I think I'm gonna make some hot cocoa. I have some cocoa mix. Make some hot cocoa, but let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cash this one out. You guys saw that it chops fairly well. What I said earlier, I'm definitely gonna do. I'm definitely going to put a better edge on this thing, because the factory edge isn't bad, but it's definitely not sharp enough to do really to the full potential of this tool. It definitely will not replace like an axe or a hatchet with a good edge on it. The other one I had back in the day, I put a really nice sharp edge on each side, and it chopped pretty similar to some of my larger knives. I'm not a big large knife guy because honestly it's not as multifunctional as a lot of other tools, but this thing is definitely worth the money. For like 40 bucks, it really does a lot. You saw that it made pretty short work of most of those sticks, that small dying pine. I dug that Dakota fire pit in a couple of minutes. Now, granted, this is a very sandy area I'm in, but there's a lot of roots and things like that because there's a lot of pines and a lot of other types of vegetation in this area. So there is a lot of roots and things like that. It does a good job. It's really a useful piece of kit to have with you, and I would highly recommend it. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.